Sunday. I hope you're enjoying your Sunday and enjoying, you know, no work today. Well, I shouldn't say that unless you work today. But anyway, here I am vlogging to you. Can you believe it? It's been about a month. I apologize. I have no excuse, but here I go. Hello. Join me for a little hot coffee. It's hot, isn't it? Ooh. Very good, strong, potent coffee. So, I have notes, so I may be looking at them because I have a lot to tell you and I don't want to waste too much of your time just chit-chatting because, you know, I get a little carried away. So, what I've been doing since I talked to you last, I worked on a prototype for the ornament exchange and my mother absolutely loved it. But, you know, she's my mother and I love her dearly, but... And I don't think she'd lie to me because she would probably be honest about, well, you know, maybe you should try this or that. Because she, you know, gives pretty good feedback. But I did ask one of my friends what they thought about it. And I think I got some positive comments. So I'm pleased. But I'm not going to show it to you guys. Because I'm going to keep it a secret. But I've only made one. It took me a long time to do it. But I was very happy with it too. I enjoyed doing it. So it gives me a little break from studying to do that. So anyway, that was pretty nice. Okay, around the house, I've been getting a lot of things done. So I probably won't edit this video, except I'll attach photos at the very end. So you'll see some before and after pictures. I put in a new kitchen sink and a new fixture. And the sink is black because all the appliances in the kitchen are black. I have not upgraded anything else in the kitchen. The kitchen's not high on the, you know, list of priorities right now. The reason why I replaced the kitchen sink is because it was leaking underneath. My brother-in-law said, just replace all the pipes. And my mom said, if you're going to replace all the pipes, just get a new sink. Because the old sink, you guys, was so goofy. I'll put in a before and look at the very corners of that sink. There are weird fixtures. They were not attached to the water, and then the main fixture was in the center. It was just bizarre, and probably an original. Okay, you guys, the house was built in the 50s. Okay. Hi, Pignoni, you coming to visit? Okay, so that was exciting. My brother-in-law did the work. Oh my God, you know, well, I'm not gonna tell you how much home renovation is, you guys. It's expensive. I probably will tell you along the way because it's expensive. I've been doing a lot of yard work and really enjoying my yard, you guys. But we haven't had rain in, I want to say, about 2 months. We haven't had any moisture. It's been very dry. I live in the desert, okay? I live in the high desert, and I probably shouldn't even have a lawn. At some point over the years, I think I'm going to cut the lawn down and make it smaller. But this, again, not a priority. So I've been going to the dump a lot. I've been enjoying the backyard a lot. In fact, I was going to take you guys out there with me this morning, but it's really windy, and you know what that does to videos. So Friday, I had the HVAC guys come in, HVAC contractors. I have a new furnace and a new... They took down the evaporative cooler and put an AC, so now I have refrigerated air. Yay! You know, in the desert we can have evaporative coolers because it's so dry here. We have no moisture, that water evaporates on the pads, and that's what keeps us cool. But they are such a pain in the ass to service every year. You know, you have to, well, anyway, it was too much. So, and then they put in a digital thermostat, which is very, very cool. It's all Trane, T-R-A-N-E, and so far, I am completely happy. Next thing I'm going to have done, which actually I'll probably call tomorrow, is have all the vents, the ducting system cleaned out, because, woo, it blew a lot of stuff on us. The old stuff did not work, you guys, and I might have told you when I had my hot water heater went out just before, like days before I was leaving for Australia, and I had the swamp cooler, the evaporative cooler switched over, because every year you have to do that, switch between the heating and the cooling. And when the plumber came in, he's like, first of all, your hot water heater is going to have to be replaced, and then your furnace is going to have to be replaced. And he said, I hope that your evaporative cooler makes it through the summer. Well, it did, and I did end up replacing all that stuff. So I was told by a professional at some point that they needed to be replaced. So it happened now, which is perfect because, you guys, it's been in the 80s, seriously. Today it's really, really windy, and they said today and tomorrow the temperatures were going to drop a little bit. But the weird thing is, we've been having record high temperatures for this time of the year. So, you know, go figure. So I also bought this Boss BBQ Grill. So we've been outside barbecuing, you know, because really we didn't have anything like that. I moved in here, and we were barbecuing on this old grill that was left out there, but it was like about to fall over. I think my nephew tied it together with rope one day or something, you know. But anyway, it worked well, you know, because we like to grill on the weekends. My nephew cooks at least once a week, sometimes twice, but he does all the grilling, which is really kind of cool. It gives me and my mom a break. And then my mom cooks most of the time, and I try to cook 1 or 2 meals a week too, so we try to help her out. So next on the home This Old House series saga will be the driveway. The driveway has been lifted by a tree that's right next door. Ooh, kitty. The tree is right on the property line, and it's huge. It's a big tree, and yeah, it's just causing problems, you know. Yeah. So I stood out there and I was chatting with my neighbor. He's a young guy. He's about 22, and his dad lives across the street. And his dad actually came over and visited the other day. It was kind of nice because he wanted to ask questions about the cooler. Anyway, I said to him, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to fix this driveway now. I said, I'm really afraid my mom's going to trip on it and fall and hurt herself. And I said, so, I just went, so, how do you like your tree? How do you like that tree? And he goes, I hate it, because he cleaned up the leaves, and they were like the monster leaves, and they were everywhere, and he was just like sick of it. So he's like, me and my dad will take it out, and you know, we have helpers and blah blah blah. I don't know when that's going to happen, but honestly, I don't know if I can afford to put in the new driveway right now, because it means coming in, they'll have to come in, jackhammer the current concrete, take it all out, put it in. But I'm going to do a circle drive in the front, and then have the driveway up to the house. And I'm widening it because I park off to the side, and right now it's just gravel off to the side. But it should be a big project, but it's going to be exciting. And then after that, I think my next thing on the list is to take down the shed that's in the back, the old rusty, you know, whatever shed, and put up a new one, probably a little bit bigger, and then put up a small gardening shed to the side. Sorry about that. Pinion's chasing something I dropped on the floor. I'll have to pick that up. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you guys. So my photography club, we had a meeting. I think it was last week. And next week, this Friday, we're going on a trip. And we're going to a ghost town, which is, I think it's 2.5 or 3 hours away. It should be a lot of fun. We're gonna be there probably I think we're leaving Albuquerque about 1 or 2-ish, and we'll be there until sun sets, and you know, just see what we can do. Take some pictures. Are you messing with that, you silly kitty? Okie dokie. Oh, now I'm dropping something else I want to show you. So the photography meeting that we had was about our art show. I think I've talked to you guys about that, or I might have just offhand mentioned it. But there's 4 of us in our group, and one of the people worked for the city. He's now retired, and what he used to do for the city, well, part of what he used to do was open up art spaces in Albuquerque to artists, local artists. And so he has been pushing for us to have an art show for a while. And we all agreed on it, and we have still some things to come up with, like a theme and stuff like that. But it sounded like we kind of more or less had a little bit of an idea. But So the art will be hung between March 2012 and 2013. And you're probably like, okay, that's a ways away, you know, next year. Why are you talking about it now? But because we have to turn in our application by June the 1st of this year, we each have to have an artist's statement, at least 3 images on a CD so he can see what sort of work we're going to put up. And they actually have to approve what we hang. We have to have a resume and a description of the piece, which would include the size, the medium, and the price. So I have some work to do. I printed up some photographs, and I was going to go today, if I have time, to go look at some matting material, and my friend David has a mat cutter, so I'm going to, you know, start framing some stuff because I have to decide what's going to go up. And at some point, okay, so then we'll have a reception when we have our opening, and then we're going to have a day where we're going to have a gallery talk, which will be pretty cool. We already kind of more or less talked about it, and it should be fun. They just better not put it all together when I'm taking a trip next year. Next year's trip is to France. A friend of mine is getting married, and I want to go to Paris, and then they're getting married in the east of France, and that's in the summer. So as long as it doesn't go on during that trip, it would be kind of cool if it went on afterwards and I could bring photos from my trip. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. That's future. So I'm traveling to the Bay Area. I'm actually going to take a little trip. April the 22nd to the 26th. And so it's just a long weekend. But I'm going to go visit my friend Todd, which I do at least once or twice a year. We're probably going to go to a musical. I wanted to go see Billy Elliot, but you know what? I really goofed on the time frame that I chose the airline tickets. I don't think he's showing yet, but I want to see Billy Elliot at some point. So we'll go into San Francisco, and we have a couple of other friends we're going to see there. And then I'm hoping Monterey Bay, because we talked about it. That's my favorite place. And it's his birthday month, and you know, I just kind of wanted to go. We'll see how things pan out when we get there. But anyway, that should be like fun. And then, so I'll talk to you a little bit more about my goals and all that stuff for the monthly thing. But I just kind of wanted to vlog because I haven't in a while. But my exam date is Friday, May the 22nd. So things are progressing. They're going along really well. And last video I made, I typically wear this bracelet, and Rock had asked me about it. This is a power balance bracelet, and those are holograms on either side. Sometimes people ask me if I'm, you know, they think it's a watch, but it's not a watch. A patient of mine was wearing this, him and his wife, and she said that they were telling me that their daughter gave it to them. And a lot of sports people wear them for power and balance, and there's a little bit of information on the internet if you look up power balance. But it was, my mother and I both wear them, and it was kind of a thing like, let's try and see what we think about this. And I have no negative effects, and I have to say one positive effect was when I was moving back in October, I was lifting up, I had hangers in both hands, and I was putting the hangers up in the closet with clothes on them, and you know how heavy that can be, and I'm short. So by the time you lift it up to the bar, it was way over my head. And you know, you have a dominant hand, and you know, I thought for sure my dominant hand would have no problem. But I started with my left hand, which is my non-dominant hand, and I just lifted it up and put it on the rack, no problem. And when I went to go lift up with my right, I couldn't do it. And I was like, whoa. And I was wearing this on my left hand. So does it give me strength? I think so. You know, sure. I would say yes. So, you know, that's kind of a really cool little thing. But anyway, I learn a lot from my patients. So, you know, that's just one of the little things that I take away. I want to show you something really quick. This is a bookmark that my aunt made for me. This is from her pond. Isn't that cool? She's a real cool artist. But yeah, so she made this. I've been using it to study. And then I wanted to tell you about my iPad. I love it. Yes, I do. I should have brought it to show you. But yeah, can we talk about it next time? That sounds weird, huh? Because I really do like it and it's very, very cool. But I just don't, I mean, I've already kind of dragged it on a little bit long, but I love it, you guys. Absolutely.